Are you sure you're ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yes.
You ready now? You ready now? We're live. What's going on, guys?
Hello, everyone.
What's up? I'm Jeremy.
I'm Macy.
Welcome to another day of LSH Live here. We're going to be doing some pattern steps. So we got the equitation.
Do you turn the echoey thing off so it's not echoey?
Yeah, it shouldn't be echoing now. This will be one of the first days that the stream is actually like perfect. Right from the jump. We're kind of yellow today. Wonder why. Yellow like
the lighting, I think.
Yeah, it must be.
Is just kind of.
I think we were blue yesterday. We're kind of yellow today.
Good morning. My third cup of coffee. Oh my goodness.
I'd be just shuddering.
Oh yeah, I'd be like.
You'd have to pull me off the ceiling if I had 3 cups of coffee. Good morning, Sissy, Naomi, Barb, Pam,
Good
Charity,
morning,
Philip,
everyone.
Donna, Arian, Jennifer, and Lynn. What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
I pronounce everyone's names like that. I have such a hard time pronouncing names.
Second cup of coffee.
I haven't had my cup of coffee yet. I'm gonna have to get it in the middle of the stream.
Probably.
I'll have
Probably. 10:32 p.m. Perth, Australia, right? That's crazy.
to. Perth?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think that's West Australia. I think.
Why did I say Perth?
That's the city.
Oh, that's cool.
Perth, Australia. Is that West? Oh, look at me go. Look at
Oh,
that.
it's so pretty.
West Australia. Some of my favorite rock bands are from Perth.
Really?
Yeah, Perth, West Australia has a great rock scene. Yep. There's a band called Carnival. They're amazing.
I love them.
Yep.
That's really
Very,
cool.
very good.
Well, we shall see how this goes. Listening at work. My boss is here today. Risky, but worth it.
There you go.
See how
You gotta
it
get the
works.
headphones.
Perfect timing. Yay!
Awesome. Very
It's
good.
so awesome. We are only 14 people away from
Yes.
hitting our 150 mark on Patreon, and then we're gonna do custom spurs. So I'm super excited.
Yes. So everybody that's waiting for May to show up on our Patreon site, May 1st, you'll not get charged twice anymore. So you can sign up. 14 people away. 14 more people, and we will
That's
do the
so
custom
crazy.
spurs from Harris. I'm not sure if you can find those on their website. You can get them in any shank design that you'd like.
Yeah, so we'll message you, like whoever wins, and then you guys can design them how you would like them.
Yes. And we can do English spurs too, doesn't really matter.
But
we're gonna do-
Good morning.
We're going to do a set of these for you guys. And they'll have Team LSH on one side, and we can have something else on the other.
Yeah, with your
Any
name
shank
on them,
design you'd
any
like.
Shank or rowel or anything that you would like.
This is our shank right here. E is
Yeah.
our shank.
And then what rowel 7's ours? 7?
Yeah, that's a good
7,
one.
Yeah.
Yep. Or 3's good.
Set up this morning. I
11's
saw
good.
you.
Awesome.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Welcome everybody to the team that signed up today. You guys are amazing. We love having you here. But yeah, so we can go inch and a quarter, inch, whichever you'd like. This is your spur. And we're going to do Team LSH on one side and whatever you'd like on the other side.
Yep.
So that
or
would
we
be,
can do Team LSH on the inside also too.
yeah, if you don't want it to be on the outside, then we can do it on the inside too. Just get
Yeah.
stamped on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna buy you guys a set of these because you guys are amazing.
So excited.
You've been incredible.
I can't wait. I'm like dying. I'm like, ah.
Yes. So 14 people away, and then we'll do a giveaway for our Patreon teammates.
Yeah, which would be
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yep.
Be so much
So
fun.
perfect. Very good. So today, do you want to get started?
We're gonna go over.
Are you staying awake?
Yeah, I need my coffee. We're gonna go over the Western riding. No,
Western ranch riding
Ranch riding pattern.
and equitation patterns.
Equitation patterns, and then we have 2 videos we're gonna go over today, and we're
Got a
super
few
sorry
videos.
we weren't live last night because we have barn hours only 5 to 9, so we just got really busy and it got too late.
Yeah.
So hopefully tonight we can be live. Our mic comes today.
Yes. Yeah, we were waiting for the wind to die down, and it just doesn't work real well. So hopefully, let me turn it down. Hopefully with the new mic,
And
it's
everything.
beautiful out today. So
It is gorgeous out today.
Sun's
So
shining
hopefully
here,
around
so-
like 5, it'll be beautiful, and we can go live outside.
yes, that would be very, very good. So yeah, we're super excited about these, and they don't have to say Andrea if you don't want them
No, they don't have to say that.
to. But yeah, that'll be fun.
So that's kind of our plan for tonight.
So yeah, that'll be a $700 value for our Patreon members if you guys want Andrea spurs.
Interest first.
I don't know what they cost for LSH, but that's going to be, we're doing a giveaway for that. So that's for our Patreon members. You guys have been amazing. And everybody for the quarantine.
Right.
Trying to cheer people up, right? Trying to be a bright
It
spot.
would cheer me up.
Yes. Yes. So that'll be really cool. They're out of stock right now, but
I think you go back real quick. Hit the back button. I think they have a couple like
oh yeah,
ones you can choose.
yeah. You guys can get whatever you'd like. Love those spurs.
I love
Yes. Yep. Yeah, 3 sets here. We'll get them set up.
They have so many.
Yeah, they have a ton.
Like everyone has their names, and it was super, super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. That would cheer
Hell
me
yeah,
up.
cheer me
Yes.
up. Yeah, exactly.
I think it
Exactly.
would cheer everyone up.
Yep. So that'll be their custom logo spurs. That's
Yeah,
what they should
or
be. It should be the LaRose logo on the
Yeah,
outside.
I
on one
mean,
side.
whatever you guys would like to
That'd be
have,
sweet.
we can do for you guys.
Yep. Yep. So whatever you'd like,
Yeah.
we'll get it done.
Yep, we'll get it done.
Yep.
Whoever wins, we'll just ask you how you want them. You can design them, and then we'll get them done for you.
Yep.
Which would be awesome.
And no share requirements for that. That's just for our Patreon members.
Yep.
So for our teammates on Patreon.
Yep. Our teammates.
Yep.
Do you
All
want
right.
to
So
start?
first order of business. Let's get right into it, so we don't spend all day talking.
I
Right?
know, that's what happens.
So yeah, shout out to Harris. They're awesome.
Yes.
We love Harris stuff. And you guys have crushed their website, so that's great.
That's so funny.
All right, so we're gonna get started. Oh, one order of business first.
Oh yeah, real quick. Yep.
One more thing. I want to make things easier. I did not expect so many people.
We don't want hundreds of wows.
Everybody wow in the chat. I want to make things easier for everybody. I'm already designing whether I win or not. There you go.
Perfect.
So we it's super confusing now that we're just doing these lives and we're just doing them for you guys. Videos are getting lost.
Yeah.
So we have come up with LSH Live video review form.
Review form, yes.
So here you can fill out your name, your email address, what are your show goals. You can either put a link to your video right here
Or you can upload
on
the
YouTube,
video.
or you can just upload it right here. Perfect. Done. Boom. And then submit. It will congregate all of them into a spreadsheet for me, so we can just check you off when we're done.
Yeah, because right now, like, the people are like, did you get my video? And I'm like, oh, I don't know where it went.
Yeah, and it's going
It
everywhere. It's
just-
like Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
our pages, email, Patreon.
Yeah,
They're just everywhere.
They're everywhere.
So
you can't keep that organized.
this will be much easier. I'll put a link to this form in the training discussion group, and I'll put a link to it on our Patreon site, and then we'll make sure that everybody gets
Gets their video
gets
done.
this video uploaded here. Be much easier to work.
Yeah, much easier.
So I started working on that right before the stream. I'll finish that up when we finish up here, and then we can go from there.
Yep. And then
But this will be so much easier for everybody. And then we have everybody, it'll be a spreadsheet here, like so. We can click the link, go to it, boom, we got your video.
Yep.
So we can speed up this whole process. Did not expect it to be as big as it was.
No, it was crazy.
There's so many videos and so many people have been like, did you see my video? And I'm like, I never even saw that
I
message.
know, they're like, did you cover it? I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it gets lost
and
on
I'm
the
like
other
scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I can't find it. And then they have to resend it.
Yes.
I just feel bad. So we'll post that, and then you guys can just upload or submit a video.
Yep, that'd be
Great
great.
idea. You're the best nerd. He is the best nerd.
I tried. Yeah, so that'll be much faster, much more efficient for everybody. Want to make things scalable, right?
Yeah.
So that way when we have thousands of people that watch this, we'll be able to keep up. We'll be hiring team members to go over videos. Yeah, so that's it. That's the last bit of housekeeping business.
Do you want to start with patterns first? Or?
Yes, we'll start with patterns first. So we left off with the showmanship. We want to get into the equitation. Should be fairly straightforward now that we've talked about patterns. And you guys kind of saw how I go about doing things, how I try to set up patterns in my head and how I walk through patterns. So now it should be very simple. Just this is the key to this pattern and we're good to go.
Right.
Yep.
We'll hire
me.
you.
Exactly. We'll build the team
hire
on
a little
stage.
chat.
Yep.
That'd be really fun.
We'll be looking for teammates to make content because this will be a media company
It will be.
before it's all said and done. You watch.
Last night we watched a documentary on, what was that?
The Fire Festival.
The Fire Festival.
You guys don't know the story behind that guy.
That was crazy.
Mhm. That dude was, wow.
I was like,
He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he pulled that off.
This is-
I mean,
this
he
is
did
wild,
pull
bro.
it off, but
He tried.
it's crazy.
He tried. He's out of jail now, so
That's what
he
because
pulled
we
it off.
found out like the guy's out of jail. And Jay was like, "Have you ever seen that documentary?" I was like, "No." So we watched it last night, and I was like, "That is insane.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy."
It was wild. So we have the Show Your Heart Out show. We'll go here. Let's start with the, I guess we can start with this one. So let's cut this. We'll bring this over. Don't need my name in there.
That was amazing. Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
That was a good documentary. Yeah. There's another one on Hulu. It was really, I've checked that one out too. Because he got out of jail. We released him. And then they appealed it, right? Then they got a lawsuit that said, don't turn that guy loose. He's a crook.
I'll have to watch that one too.
Yeah. That was a wild story.
It was like, that was crazy. I remember just being like, I mean, I could have kept going. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
I saw people have like that much money.
Yeah, I know. People donate millions of dollars to that guy. For what? I don't know.
What people did. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyways, sorry.
Anyway.
We're getting off on the tangent.
So, I don't know. My window got messed up again. Hold on. I figured it out how to fix this too. Reset. There we go. Look at me learning. Look at me learning. I lost the color thing again.
Oh.
Tried to not give me my markers. Give me my markers.
Give me my markers.
All right. So, this pattern right here.
This is the open novice.
This is novice. And this is walk trot, right? There's equitation there. The ranch riding is the only loping in that show that I know of. And it sounds like it's going to be huge. Entries are like over 100 entries.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, we talked to Kirsty that's running the show. What we'd like to do instead of just going to the placings is we will judge it live.
Yep.
And that'll probably be like a Sunday stream or a Monday stream because we want to get everybody a chance to get their videos in. So probably Monday, I'll be sitting here with 100 entries.
Yeah.
That could take a while. I'll be sitting here probably for at least 4 hours, 5 hours live.
I'll try to be here with you.
And we will we'll play through it, and maybe you can make me snacks. And we'll judge it live.
I'll be painting behind you.
Yep.
I've been painting.
Yep. So depending on how long that takes, we may be live the entire day Monday. Yep. And we'll judge that, give everybody feedback on the videos, things to work on, things to improve, and then hopefully tie it back to some of the maneuvers we do. Interesting to have a judge trainer / standpoint, right?
Well, you'll have to wear a cowboy hat, right?
Oh, I'll be all dolled up.
So, can I wear a sweatshirt?
No, ring steward. No, you may not. You'll be bringing me videos.
I don't have to wear a cowboy hat.
I'll be in a cowboy hat, suit coat, maybe pants.
Jamie's like, I'm not wearing pants.
Maybe pants. I might be in PJs or shorts underneath. You guys will never know.
Never know.
Be like that news anchor on Good Morning America that got caught with no pants on.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just the other day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was on quarantine. He was enjoying his quarantine. There he goes. You can see his boxers hanging out there. Oops. Ad.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He didn't like say anything?
Here he is. He's chatting and then they zoom out. Oh no.
Oh no.
Let's let this bar go away, maybe we won't. You can see right down it. No pants.
No. Oh.
Why would you, right? Why would you wear pants? We're all quarantined.
You're at home. Why not? Don't worry, guys. We're wearing pants right now.
Yes, I am. What maybe?
Stop it.
Maybe.
You are. You wouldn't even know if your pants are not. Exactly.
Yeah, see? So.
No one would ever know.
Yeah. All right. Back to pattern work. So we're here. Got our 3 cones set up. Not pretty straightforward pattern here. Walk 3 strides, post and diagonal, right trot in the right diagonal, switch diagonals, continue to C. Again, so I picked an easy pattern for the novices. This gives you a clear spot to change diagonals. And then, so for me, the secret to circles, right? When you do a circle here, learning how to do a good circle is very, very important.
Okay.
So what I want you to think about is I want you to think about the strides entering and the strides exiting a circle. That's the most important part for me. So yeah, it's a circle, but what we want you to think about is this is a D. All right? So you should look like this leaving, this entering, but this needs to be straight through here. All right? So however wide you set your patterns, happy May Day to you, Becky.
Happy May Day.
However wide you set your pattern, right? Make sure that this is set halfway, and then you're gonna say, okay, to make this a good circle, if I come in and I come through here and I'm turning, how many strides straight is this? Well, this is like 1 stride straight, 1 stride straight, and then you're turning again.
Right.
Make however many strides straight you were here, however strides straight you are here.
Right.
All right? Because the last thing that you want to do when you do a pattern, let me put that one back in. That was good. That's a good marker. So whenever you do a pattern, is you don't want to come in like out here and come around, and now I'm turning, now I'm straight, right? 1, 2 strides straight, and then leave it like this.
Right.
That's the surefire way to making an uneven circle, all right? Or a half circle or arc, All right. So the secret for these types of patterns, anytime you have something where the top of a circle is somewhere, make sure you leave this with the same number of strides that you came in order to make this balanced.
Right.
All right. So that's 2 strides straight, then start turning.
Right.
All right. So always, always, always 2 strides straight, then turn.
Right.
And that will leave you with prettier circles and stuff. If this is in like most Eck patterns are like do a circle here and then come over here, do a circle, right?
Right.
So they usually look like this. So the stride straight through here, that's super important. Straight right through there.
Right.
All right. So that's where you want to make sure you're 2 strides in, here's the middle, 2 strides out, and then go off.
I feel like every Eck pattern has like go to B, circle, low.
Almost always. Yeah. Yep. Almost always. So that's a insider tip for you guys. Make sure that you go straight for a little while before you start turning. Otherwise, you're going to be like lopsided. You're going to come through. This might look really pretty, and then you come through and it looks like that.
Yeah.
Right, because you just chop it off.
Yeah.
So don't fall into that trap. Remember, if you come in, 2 strides in, 2 strides out, 3 strides in, 3 strides out, however big you set your pattern.
Right.
And that will help you determine like how big is my pattern, where am I trying to be.
Right.
All right. The other thing, yeah, that's exactly what my figure eights look like. Yeah. Yeah. So remember, there are 2 like flat spots right here. Flat spot, that's a pretty figure 8.
Right.
This is not a figure 8 that looks good. All right. So 2 flat spots right there. That's what we're looking for. So I want to be right there. We'll use green right here. This I want to be straight.
Right.
That will leave your circles balanced on both sides. All right. Because anytime you come in like this, you're going to cut one side. I guarantee it.
Yeah, you're gonna cut right in.
Yep. You're absolutely going to cut one side, and then it'll be lopsided.
Yep.
All right. You'll have a snowman.
Yep.
Yep. Will be big circle, little circle. So yeah, that's a good strategy for you guys. Stay straight right through there, and then say, okay, now I'm gonna start turning. So like I'll just come into that 1, 2, middle, 1, 2, turn.
Right.
All right. So you think about it that way. You come through turning straight, 1, 2, middle, 1, 2, turn,
Right.
and just kind of count that in your head, and you'll be much better off with patterns like this. And same thing will happen up here, right? This one's a little smaller circle on top.
Is it change diagonal and loop back around?
Yep.
Or stop?
Sitting trot.
So sitting trot and
Sitting
stop?
trot circle.
Okay.
Yep. So here you start your sit trot and just make sure you sit trot 1, 2, and then turn. And that one's going to be more likely that you would cut it down, right? I am anticipating lots of people to make this circle nowhere near as balanced as this one is because you're doing a transition right there, right? So you're going to sit trot and you're going to be thinking about your sit trot and you're going to turn right away, right? Which means your circle will not be balanced coming around here. You're going to cut this cone right here. All right. So if we break our circles down and we say, okay, we've got this going on right here, we come through right there. So this is going to be, if I want this circle to be balanced, I'm going to be 1, 2, middle, 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, middle, 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, middle, 1, 2, turn. And this is a smaller circle. So if you went 3 straight over here, go 2 over here. All right. If you want it to be smaller, make it fewer, right? So if you end up going 3 strides straight into this one, so you come through 1, 2, 3, right? 3 strides, 1, 2, turning. Then you come through here, 1, 2, 1, turn. 1, middle, 1, turn. 1, middle, 1, turn.
Right.
1, middle, 1, turn. And that'll give you a landmark to keep turning,
Right.
all right?
Yeah.
Because if you break a circle down, it really is just, like I want you guys to think about circles in terms of you have 4 lines that you're trying to stay on, right? Need to be just as straight here, let me change colors, just as straight here as you are here, as you are here, as you are here, all right? That's how I want that to look like. So, and just keep that in mind, you're doing the same thing up here. You're here like this, here's straighter, maybe a little longer straight, right through there.
Yep.
Right, and then same thing here. Stay straight. Stay straight for a little while, and then you'll have the same amount of bounced straight up here.
Okay.
Maybe more like this, like that.
Yep.
All right. So that'll be the key to making any good circle. Stay straight for a little bit, and then turn.
Okay.
Okay. So always make sure you have flat spots in your circles until you're really good at it.
Okay.
Right. And then the other piece that is guide with your eyes. Right. So on the video, it's gonna be a little bit harder to see people's eyes. Because you're not going to have, obviously, the resolution that you need to see people's eyes, but I can see your head, all right? And what that means is I always want you tracking. If you're right here, if this is you, blue spot, I want your eyes tracking about that far ahead, all right? So that means when you're here, take those away. So when you move to here, your eyes should be that far ahead. You should be up here. When you're here, your eyes should be that far ahead, right? When you're here, hey Sharon, good morning.
Hello.
Your eyes should be this far ahead. So you're already planning out where is my middle gonna be as I come through here.
Right.
So always be tracking your circles. There's nothing more that I hate than seeing someone right here doing this straight line, right? And they're going along. So here they're trotting, their eyes are straight ahead, they're trotting, and all of a sudden their head just snaps over.
Yeah, I hate that.
And they're like, oh, I gotta turn.
I hate that. Like,
right? And then you're gonna get that jerk.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like posting, you're going along, and all of a sudden you're like, turn.
Yeah.
Right? That's a circle. So it's not a hard corner, right? And even if it was a hard corner, you need to be up here before the corner.
Right.
So you know where you're making your corner.
Right.
So I want your eyes always tracking a bit ahead of where you actually are.
Right.
Right? And I'll notice that with your head movement for sure. So that's something that if I see your head snap, that just tells me you stopped tracking your pattern.
Yeah.
Right? And it would be the equivalent of you're driving your car and you're staring at the steering wheel and so your head snaps back up and you're like, oh geez, you jerked the wheel.
Right.
Same thing happens with our horse.
Right.
All right? So don't jerk the wheel when you ride. Nothing that we're doing happens quickly. All right? It does not need to happen quickly. So you can slow this pattern down a lot in your eyes and your mind by tracking ahead of where you are.
For sure.
All right? That way you don't get stuck late to the party. All right? Other than that, fairly straightforward pattern. Tricky spots for this, just making sure the circles are straight, right? Making sure you come in and leave straight. And then your sitting trot to this one is going to be a tricky one because you're going to be thinking about your transition and lose your tracking it. So I fully anticipate people to think about sitting and they're doing this and then they're like, oh shoot, I got to turn too, right? Because it kind of happens quick because you don't have much time there. Yep, perfect.
Perfect. I'm excited to see everyone's pattern.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. All right, so next one, we're here. This is the
open?
Not novice children and senior walk trot.
Okay.
So here like this. Oops. Bring that. Bring this. Do this. All right. So we're gonna walk halfway to A to B. We're gonna sitting trot through here. We're going to pick up a posting trot at B. So when your shoulder passes B, I'm on the wrong one. When your shoulder passes B, you pick up your post.
Okay.
All right. And then Kirsty had a couple questions about this. She had people like, when do I pick up my post? At B. Oops, that's kind of at B. So when your shoulder passes B, I want you posted.
Right.
All right. So that's gonna be a right diagonal across there. Right diagonal. Switch here. Switch here.
So switch at C.
Switch here.
At B.
Yep. And come around.
Okay. That's not bad.
Yep. Proper diagonal changes. So whenever you change direction. So I think in dressage, it's called change reins. Good morning, Kathy. So I think it's called change rein, and that's why you change. And I don't know exactly if this is fact or not. This is something I made up in my head that made a lot of sense, right? So the reason why we have diagonals in the first place,
I hate diagonals.
right? The reason why we have diagonals in the first place is because I want you guys to think about, we're driving that horse's outside shoulder around the corner, all right? So I'm always kind of posting across my horse, across the diagonal.
Who came up with diagonals?
This is my theory.
Okay.
All right. So it's more comfortable to post a trot than it is to sit a trot.
But why did you post on the right diagonal?
Because if you are on the wrong diagonal, right? So I'm going to be on the outside diagonal. I want my horse's shoulder to go this way, right? So I'm posting across my diagonal. So if I'm on the left diagonal, right, and I go to steer my horse across, I can steer to the right from my left diagonal because I can push that horse's outside shoulder over. And we always steer with the outside shoulder, right? If you were on the right diagonal trying to turn left, you're going to be coming up as that horse's leg comes forward, and you guys are going to hit each other. You're going to run into each other. It's very uncomfortable.
And when I was younger and I was showing patterns like at the wrong diagonal, I was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah, no, it's very uncomfortable. If you're on a straight line, you don't notice so much. But when you start turning, it's very uncomfortable to be on the wrong diagonal when that horse is outside, like you're doing this. See how we're banging into each other?
I'll try it today. I was going to pick up the first diagonal and try to pick up without looking down.
I got a good trick for that.
He does.
I got a great trick for that.
Okay, want to know? Okay, so I was always, when I was younger, my mom and my trainer would always yell at me because I would look down at their shoulders.
Don't do that.
And I could only so I was picking up, would be my right diagonal, right? If you're going left lead.
Left, you're going right diagonal.
And I had to look at the left shoulder to pick up my the perfect diagonal.
No.
I could never look at the outside shoulder. People were like, look at the outside shoulder, it'll help you. I always had to look at the inside one because I was always too late.
Oh, yeah.
I was always too late, so I just switched it.
Yep, I can see that.
And then he taught me a different way. And it's good on a bouncy horse. It works pretty well. But you have to be really good at it.
Yeah, so what I tell my people to do, all right? So this is a huge advantage for patterns like this because it's sitting trot first and then posting trot. All right, so what I tell people to do.
Let me get some coffee.
Good morning.
Let me get some coffee real quick.
So what I tell people to do is get in this rhythm with your horse. Get in the side to side rhythm. Start feeling for this diagonal push of your horse, right? So he's going to push you left to right like this. So I have my people really exaggerate down through their feet and their hips, that left to right motion. And then when you're on the outside of your horse, when you're over here, come up. All right? So you're here like this. So you'll always get it in at least 3 strides once you get good at it. But I tell people, really exaggerate. Really like push your saddle across and use your stirrups, because you're going to feel when that horse is down on the outside, when that outside leg is underneath of him. And then as he lifts that shoulder to come forward, you're going to be able to post up with him. All right? So get that left to right in your horse here. All right? So it's always going to be out, in, out, up. All right? And that will help you a ton in getting your diagonals. Out, in, out, up. So you'll always be able to get your diagonals within 3 steps. And then just practice to where you can figure out how to get it in 1. So I usually, like what we can do with our horses now is we can like ask them to trot off and we can just start posting and they're going to come up with us, right? But especially for patterns like this where you have a sit trot first, big advantage because you're going to be sitting, so you can kind of get like this, like that, right? And then you never have to look. Come up when the inside hip stops to drop. Yep. So as that leg is here, you're on the outside of your horse, you come up here. Helps a lot to have someone on the ground watching you, so that when you start exaggerating, they can say yes or no, right? They can help you go in, out, up, right? Because what I find is people don't know what it is they're feeling underneath of it. So I have them really exaggerate for me and I can see what they're feeling. Otherwise, we tell people, like when I remember when I started riding, my parents made me ride English. They said, if you're going to show, you're going to do everything, right? You're going to learn it all. And English will make you a better rider. So when I was starting, my trainer was like, well, you have to just look at the ceiling and feel it. And I'm like, feel what? And they're like, well, you have to feel it.
Mike did the same thing as me.
Yep.
So I still do it.
You have to feel it, right? And what is it?
Yeah, they always tell me, they're like, you just need to feel it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling for.
Right, I have no idea.
Trotting.
Well, you're diagonal. Well, how do I feel for that? Well, you got to feel your diagonal. What does that mean? So I would come here, 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 up.
It actually works really well. And you can always feel like, we should do that. We should do a video.
We can do a video on that, absolutely. No one ever told me that. I've been riding for 30 years. Yeah, and it's something I came up with, and it works really well.
I did that on Marley
really
a lot. Because I wanted to show Eck with her.
Yes.
And then I ended up not having enough stuff.
Yep.
But it works really well.
Usually what I find is, learned at a certification clinic last year. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Huh. There you go. So that'll prevent you from having to look down to get your diagonals, which to me is a huge fault, right? I don't want you to look down. Come here, here, out.
It's hard not to look down. Okay, I give those girls so much credit if they can just pop right up into it.
I'm pretty good at it now. I usually get
like some of those patterns you watch, like it's just start at A and posting trot, and
then just boom, right up into it. If you could get to where you can come up like immediately into your trot, that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. You show my video? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely will, Sharon. That's the problem is I don't know what I'm feeling for, but in English just started writing so much. Yeah. Feeling the low and the nasty. Exactly. So yeah. That's the hardest thing for me and embarrassing. I have to look down. I'm gonna practice this. Yes.
Yeah. See, I always look down, and it's so embarrassing. I hate it.
So what I have my riders do is really exaggerate it, and then I tell them you're feeling the wrong leg.
You can feel like when you start going back and forth like that, you can definitely feel like
because
you're fighting
if you're wrong with your horse and you're trying to sit out as he's coming up, it's gonna be really uncomfortable.
You're like.
But if you get in rhythm with him, it'll be really easy to do.
Yeah, and you just come up. Like right when they like go back here, you just come up with their leg.
They just out here and then up. And then you always think about like, then if you think about your diagonals that way, it makes more sense why we have a diagonal. Because you're going to drive this shoulder across. So you're going to sit out and then back up and in. Oh, wow. Joe, that's amazing.
That's so cute.
So we're here, out, and then back up and in. So you're always posting this way through your horse.
Right.
So that's why on this pattern, we're going to pick up a right diagonal right here because we're going to be steering our horse that way.
So you'll be posting and then you'll come up this way.
Yep. And then you'll come out. So you'll be in, out, up right here. So you're on the right diagonal, right? Then you come around here and you're going to sit 2 to switch diagonals because now you're going to be driving your horse this way, right? And that's why we switch diagonals here. Because we're coming around, we're driving our horse around, we're going to switch diagonals again because we're driving our horse around, right? Make more sense? then you'd be driving your horse this way. All right?
I didn't put as much creamer in my coffee.
It smells delicious.
I don't like it.
Now it's actual coffee?
I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I might taste some more creamer.
Okay. So you're always driving your horse across. So that to me is why we have diagonals, because we're steering our horse across. So if we go back to the old days and why they started posting, we had a horse that had a huge ground covering trot, right? He was going places, he was covering ground at his trot. So we posted to make it more comfortable for us. So then in order to keep from getting tired and to ride with our horse, right, to dance with our horse, we could post on the outside when that shoulder's coming across because we could steer at the same time.
Did they post like in the Old West days?
The Old West days, yep, the cowboys posted, and then I would imagine that the Englishmen posted on their war horses. Right? So I would guess that because you're working with the animal, it would be less exhausting because those guys were horses all day.
I can see that.
So I don't think it was just some evil person at a horse show that was like, nah, we're gonna pick up diagonals today. Right? I don't think it was back to that.
Just like with the banding, I'm like, no.
I'm sure I could look up the history of the diagonal, and I bet, and I've never looked it up, I would bet that's mostly the reason why. You are with your horse, drive across him. So you're driving outside across, so you're pushing that outside shoulder across.
Look it up, see if you're right.
All right, we can Google it.
Dun, 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 dun.
We can bring it over here. Why do we have diagonals at the trot?
Wait, is it here? Wait,
no, that's going to be frees up more space for your horse inside hind to move up into. So they're thinking about the hind leg. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Because they're thinking about the hind end. I'm thinking about the front end. Origins of coronavirus, COVID-19, Mayday. Origins of posting trot. Trotting was the pace the carriages have to use. Origin of posting on the horse forum. So I don't know if this is. Here's myths debunked. How's that?
Myths debunked.
Let's debunk this myth. The story suggests the postmen carrying mail throughout the different parts of the world was prefer using big, long, strided horses for speed. They were also very bouncy. Yeah. So here we go. Posting up as the horse's right hind was stretched out front would work one side of the horse's hind legs more than the other, so the rider would ride on the right diagonal for a while, then switch to the left diagonal in order to optimize the amount of work each leg was expending. Fancies of European royalty and aristocracy would have to drive in a team. Post boys discovered it was easier to stand up in their stirrups with every other bounce of the horse as opposed to getting jostled around. Posting became an accepted way for aristocrats to ride their fancy horses up and down the bridle paths like Rotten Row in London.
Some horses are so rough to ride. Yeah, I'm sure that's why people post.
Yep.
I mean, I post when the horses are really rough. Or really
Yeah, I mean, I understand why we post, but why do you post on a diagonal? Origin of, let's do diagonal. Origin of diagonals in trotting. I don't know if we'll be able to find it. That's my theory, is why we have diagonal, because you're driving your horse across.
I like your theory.
I like it too. I'm going to stick with it.
I think it works.
I'm going to keep saying it like it's fact.
Yeah, and then people will believe you.
People believe me. If you say it authoritatively enough, they'll be like, oh, he knows what you're talking about.
Let's do the West Ranch riding.
Hold on, we got to get to these.
I like that one.
All right, so walk halfway, sitting trot. So again, feeling for that. Where is this cone, right? So you have this cone right here to help you. This cone will tell you this line is very important to this pattern. We want to know where this line is,
Yeah.
all right? So at A, you're going to look across to E, right? And then draw this out to B, and then back to U and find the halfway point.
When did not having cones become popular in a pattern?
Because it's harder.
Well, that like just started a couple years ago, right? Or has it always been like that? Even
I mean, we try to make patterns harder, right? As competition gets better, then it will be a fact.
Yes,
exactly.
It will be.
And you guys will have hundreds of people on here being like, well, the reason why we have post and trot is because you're riding across your horse's side. It's just harder without cones.
When I was younger and like 13 under and walked out and stuff, like we always had cones. So when I had the 14 through 18, it was like no cones.
Competition got better, right?
Yeah.
So when you're at A, right, the landmarks for this pattern, I want you to take your eyes, go across to the end, right here. So this is 1 with your eyes. Then go back over here. So this is 2 with your eyes. Then go back to U. There's 3. And then find this line right here. There's 4. All right? So using your eyes, you're going to go 1 right here. Find this point. then find out in front of you, because that cone exists, right? Then go back to where you are with your eyes, trace this back, and then you'll be able to find this line really well.
Right.
All right? It's going to be very hard for you to find that middle line if you just try to find it out here in space. Right? That's gonna be really hard for you to find. So there's nothing to base, you don't have any landmarks, all right? So if we wanna make this pattern much harder, we just take out those cones, right? Take this cone out, take this cone out, take this cone out. Now that pattern is extremely difficult to put together, all right? So this is the easier version of this pattern where we have 5 cones.
Do you guys like cones, or would you guys prefer no cones?
No cones gives you more expression.
Honestly, I feel like that just like, I don't know which one I would like. I always like having an end cone. Like, I like to know where I'm ending up.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if that E wasn't there, I'd be like, where do I end up?
Yeah, where do we go? I don't know. But yeah, so your eyes are going to go out here first, then back here, then find your middle.
Right.
And it'll be much easier to do. Because like if I was right here, even for me to draw like, okay, where's the middle? I'm going to go across, right? That's going to be tricky to do in a pattern, right? In an arena.
Yep.
So and the reason why we go about this is because I want my riders at A to have a strategy.
Cones.
Yeah. To have a strategy when you get to the cone.
Right.
All right. Otherwise, you get to the cone and you're just like,
it's terrifying.
I don't know where to go. Right? Or you're watching the horse in front of you and you're like, I'm doing
it's so good.
So my riders come to the cone, they get their horse here, they go boom, 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 over. All right. So I tell people, like, when we practice this pattern at home, when you're doing this without your horse, right? Set the pattern up, do it without your horse. I want to see you walk up to cone A, and you're in your equitation position, right? You're here like this. I want you to go over, out, in, over, and find your lines. I want to see my riders laying out the pattern, visualizing in their mind. Okay? Yeah, there you go. There you have it.
Fact.
And Michelle is, she rides mostly English, so.
Well, she listened to her then.
She knows. There you go. So I think about the horse's shoulder.
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
Yeah. I mean, it helps both, right? There's a diagonal that would move together.
Yep.
So take your eyes, go across, back in, down, then here.
Then across.
So then you pick your point right here. Right? You're gonna walk halfway, sitting trot through here, pick up your post at B, come around. Let me get rid of some of these lines. Post here, coming around, switch here, coming around, switch here. I guess you could switch here too as well.
Wait, do you back then turn from 180? Yeah, okay.
All right. So coming around, switch, come around, stop back 4, 180 on the right.
I'm surprised that they didn't do like the forehand turn. Like so it's called, like where they stick their front end and you pivot around. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So
usually,
switching here, switching here.
This is the act, right? Usually I feel like that's what they do.
Coming in late, so I have to rewatch. Perfect, Corey.
Okay.
So coming through, posting trot here, switch here, coming around.
Okay.
I suppose you probably switch here too. No switching. So coming around like that. Because you're changing direction here, changing direction here. Changing around.
What do you perform when you change at D? Posting trot at B, around C, and D to E.
Just make sure you're on the correct diagonal for which way you're going.
For which way you're going, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Me personally, I would like to see someone switch here and switch here.
Okay.
Because this is where you change direction, right?
Right.
Or you can switch here too, it doesn't really matter. Somewhere in here.
Yep.
As long as you own it.
Right.
Just own it. Just own your pattern, all right? Own your pattern. If you don't switch in the middle, if you look like you're kind of lost, you're switching back here, or you're switching up here, that doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, Becky, this will be up. Yep, absolutely.
And when he's judging, he'll probably be live like all day, and that video will stay up too, so you guys can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll be live all day. So if you miss your pattern being judged, you'll be able to rewind and rewatch it after it's done. You won't be able to do it when it's live.
Right.
But when it's done, you will. Perfect. So let's look at the next one. Is your coffee better now?
Much better. I hate how cold it gets, so I try to hold it so it stays warm.
It gets cold from your cold hands, I'm sure.
I know, I was like, oh, this is nice. Do you guys like lots of cream in your coffee? Hi there.
There's gonna be a bunch of people like it black, I'm sure.
Really?
Like my coffee blonde and sweet, like you.
Oh, thank you. My grandma loves it black, and my little niece, she loves drinking black coffee.
Yeah, that's weird.
She's like, I love it. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're crazy. I love it. Like if you guys can't really spill it, but it's like
Yeah.
light blonde.
So the open pattern, very similar, right? I'm drawing the background. Very similar. Walk,
the open?
sitting trot, longer sit trot, right? Sitting trot around there.
Pippin English is on the forehand list.
Yes, I agree.
In the pattern.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, really? Depends on the day.
Yeah. Change diagonals, posting trot, right diagonal, stop E, back one horse length. Hard to, I mean, this is the open. Really hard to get a challenging pattern.
Tons of creamer.
Oh, there you go.
Loves creamer.
There you go.
I love creamer.
Really hard to get a challenging open pattern if it's just walk trot.
Half and half, no flavored creamer.
Oh, yeah.
No flavored creamer?
We use hazelnut
and vanilla.
Sweet cream.
Sweet, yes, the sweet, like, this is vanilla, right?
Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how do you do that? Oh, you're crazy.
So very similar pattern here. Challenge will be sitting trot, a loop.
Yep.
Hard to come up with a challenging pattern of an equitation for open riders.
Yep.
Change diagonals at D, so make sure you change there. Left diagonal here. Coming through. Very basic. The same rules apply, right?
Sitting trot to E.
Make sure that you come in straight, 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 straight. Leave straight, straight.
Right.
All right? Otherwise, you're going to end up with triangles out here. You're going to be bouncing back and forth.
Right.
Right? And we don't want that. So this is jagged. This is not smooth. This is not pretty to watch. So make sure that you're coming through straight, straight, straight. Okay? In straight, out straight. In straight, out straight. Same number of strides in, same number of strides out.
And you will be able to tell if you don't come out of D straight all the way to
Yeah.
E. You'll be able to tell.
Yep. No contamination at all. Black coffee only. Contamination.
Oh my goodness!
She likes it leaded.
That's crazy. Did you was that from day one? Have you ever had creamer in your coffee?
Is that an active decision or is that just so you don't know any better?
Because maybe if I was brought up not ever drinking Starbucks, stuff like that, the flavored coffee, the really yummy coffee. But I have a hard time even drinking home, out of the Keurig coffee. Because we always had, my mom loves Big B and Starbucks and stuff, so we always had frozen drinks and all that stuff. You're the one that just talked me into drinking this stuff.
Yep. How'd you use hazelnut? It's hot bean water. Oh wow.
Wait, it's hot bean water.
Hot bean water. It's supposed to taste like coffee, not a cinnamon bun.
Oh my goodness.
I like to drink my sugar in the morning.
Me too.
I like to drink my sugar.
I was my teeth hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, fairly straightforward. We'll move on.
Hot bean water, so close to. That's so funny. Or a cupcake. I used to use sugar, but it makes me fat. Then I'm
I thought about cutting it out, but I was like, I can cut calories somewhere else.
You need your coffee. You can tell when he doesn't have his coffee.
I love coffee.
You do love your coffee.
Yep. All right, so we have horsemanship.
Ooh, horsemanship. That
Again,
looks fun.
just a walk trot. So this show, just walk trot in this show. Whoops. Put that back in. Let's get rid of this one.
What is happening?
There we go. Try to make it bigger and I messed it up.
Okay.
I guess I can make it so big.
This pattern is really confusing. So you turn back and then stop at B?
Yeah, so you're going to walk to A. So you can start before A, pick up your jog all this long line, right? So again, we talked yesterday about how having long lines of you doing something gives the judge lots of time to evaluate your position.
Now, how about this for horsemanship? Since you're going to be a judge, would you rather see, so this is horsemanship. So horsemanship is pleasure, right? It's slower. So would you rather see a jog or extended jog?
It's a jog.
Okay, some people just jog super, super slow.
Oh.
And people like to see quick.
Yeah, I don't want to see a pleasure jog. That's boring.
Okay.
So, and just remember, the slower you jog that line, the more time I have to evaluate your riding.
Right.
All right? If you jog that line pretty fast, I'm going to question whether it was a jog in the first place. And then secondly, I want to make sure that you're jogging in, if you go super slow, I'm going to get bored.
Because I feel like people are just look away and they look down here.
I'm going to get bored. I'm going to be able to look at you, make an evaluation of your riding, and then just look away, check the time, whatever.
Yep.
You know. So in B, stopping back.
Death Wish coffee, iron bean, gum strong.
Death Wish coffee, iron bean.
Wow.
Crazy.
Good.
10 cups a day, welcome to nurse life, yeah.
Oh,
You're
boy.
You're going to get used to that. So stopping back here. So this is going to be probably your horse's shoulder. I'm going to stop here. Or your shoulder. I'm going to stop here and back up. Jog 3/4 of a circle to the right. again, same circles rules apply, right? Just remember, just imagine you have a cone out here, right? Make sure you go on the outside of that cone so that you come into this straight, right? Otherwise, this is gonna be a really easy pattern to come around here. Maybe have a good side over here and then just whip that around.
Right.
And then you're gonna come out of that crooked,
right.
Okay? So I would like to see somebody, since this is jog, right? When you do your 180, jog that circle back, right? Almost the same size circle, right? Make sure you follow pretty closely to your tracks. Maybe a lane out, right? One lane on the outside of that, but you could come through pretty close to the same tracks. That was pretty good, good tracer. So coming through almost on the same tracks. I know it's drawn differently, but the only reason it's drawn differently is so that you guys can see what's going on. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh.
What a mess.
What have I done? So yeah, the only reason it's drawn like this is so that you guys can see both directions.
So tight for pleasure horses only. I ran shows, I love horses,
yeah.
Spread it out better for interest too.
Yep, I agree. Bigger patterns take more time. So most of the time when you have people that they tighten the pattern down to save time on the show. If you use the whole arena, and that's what you're gonna find more at like the world shows and stuff, bigger patterns.
Yeah, that's why I would do more of the pattern stuff, but I just find out like they make the pattern so tight, and I don't really like tight patterns. I like to be open and free. Like I like them when they're. That's why I kind of like no cones, because it's really open. Like you can use as much as you want. You know.
The other thing to remember too is like you're limited by the width of your arenas. Yeah. Most arenas are only going to be like 100 wide, 120 wide. So you're very limited by the width of your arena. So some of us are going to be riding indoors. That's a 60-foot wide arena. This pattern is going to be much smaller, much tighter.
So it'd be a 20-meter circle and stuff.
Yes. Yep. Back out of it. Exactly. So yeah, that's a 20-meter circle. That's 60 feet across there. So I was just saying. So this is a 60 feet. If you go wall to wall, right? I personally don't want to see you go wall to wall if you guys are trapped indoors, because I don't want you bouncing off the walls. And that goes true of any horse ever. Right? When you're teaching a young horse or you're teaching your horse at home, don't go wall to wall, because I look at that and I go, oh, that rider's just leaning on that wall to make a circle. All right. So if you only have a 60-foot wide arena, do not go wall to wall. Right. Get out in the middle and show me that you can guide your horse. Right. All right. That you don't need to rely on the wall to be active. All right. To be actively steering your horse, because I would say you're just bouncing off the walls, you're ping-ponging around, and it doesn't show me that you're a good rider. So I would probably, if I only had a 60-foot wide arena, I would set this maybe, so the wall is here, wall is here, right? Give me 10 feet off both sides so I can see you out in space making your circle. Yep. All right? Make your circle. Don't bounce off the walls and make the arena circle. Right. Okay? So as a judge, those are things I look at. Did that rider make their circle, or did they just bounce off the wall? Okay? Yep. So ideally, this probably ends up being like a 40-foot circle, which would be a 15-meter circle, something close to that, 12 to 15 meters. It's a walk trot pattern, so again, I'm looking more for, do you make even clean circles? Do you come out of this clean right through here? Is this clean? You leave on the same line that you came in on, and go from there. Yep.
I agree. It'll be a good pattern.
Perfect.
Are we gonna do the...
We're getting there. I
want to see that one.
I see that.
I like that one. We went and watched the ranch riding at the Pinnacle Roads, and that was really fun. It was very interesting. I actually want to try it.
It'd be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see the patterns. All right, so this one's set up a little bit different, right? We're going to come through here, jog around B, extend the jog at B to C. So this is right here, that transition happens. Right? As you come around here, this is all an extended jog line. Again, a long time, right? So I can really evaluate, how do you sit the extended jog? I want someone that stays close to the leather, right? If you've never heard that term before, it applies to English and Western. So you are staying close to the leather. Move with your horse. If you're out there doing this, slamming on their backs, not a good rider, right? Use your legs to absorb the shock, okay? And I want to see, like, again, so this is the not novice, right? This is the normal children and senior. Separate yourself, right? Drive this pattern. So this is a fairly simple, straightforward pattern, and this is the same as the open for the other one, right? For the equitation, drive it, show it off, right? So in the patterns where like this is fairly basic, you can really show off your horse, all right? And show off your riding ability and push this and ride it aggressively. Like we said, it's accuracy first and then speed second. So this is not a novice class. So I expect you guys all to be accurate, and you guys can count on everybody being accurate there. So at that point, you need to show off speed, right?
Okay.
Show off, add the degree of difficulty to yourself, okay? So for every pattern, there's gonna be a base degree difficulty score. This is a low base degree difficulty, which means you're gonna have to add that in your riding, right, to stand out. Otherwise, if everybody came through here and did just a basic jog, basic extended trot, stop and back, it's gonna be hard, all right? So ways to separate yourself here, go from 5 to 20 immediately, all right? A lot of people are gonna be building to an extended trot.
Yeah.
Because their horse arm is broke.
In the middle, they'll be like the extent that they wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you always have to think about what I do when I evaluate patterns for people is this is the story. Okay, so this right here, this is the story. You are given a children's book. They have given you the words. You are the illustrator. Okay. It's up to you to draw the story right here. So the story is jog A to B. All right. What does that mean? That goes from standing still to jog. Okay. All right. This does not read stand at A, start walking slowly, then build to a jog.
Build to a jog.
Right. And then it says jog around B. It says extend the jog at B. So right here, extended jog to jog, extended jog, right? Or jogging to extended jog, like that. Right. It doesn't say slowly build your jog to an extension. Right. All right. So I want to make sure that, yeah, I did see that. That was Reed, I believe. Yep. Reed Thomas, really talented trainer.
Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
Yep, he won it. So, and I always want people to think about that. Like if your jog through here is, let's say, 4 miles an hour, all right? When you come through here, I want you to be at 10 for your extended jog. All right, sounds good, Jennifer. Have a good day. Stay safe out there.
See you.
So right here, going from 4, I want you to be 10 miles an hour. Okay. 4 to 10, all right? I don't want you to gradually build speed so it looks like this, where we're like, okay, we're coming through here, we're at 4, and then we get to here, and now we're at 6, and then we get to here, and maybe we're at 7, and then by the time we get to the end of this line, now we've gotten to our pace that we're looking for. Now we're at 10 miles an hour, if that's your final speed, okay? This is not a gradual build. So I want to see a horse and rider. If you want to stand out in this pattern, I want to see a horse and rider that can go from 4 to 10 right there. Boom, trotting, right? Extended jog. And then if you can build like that, if you have this constant speed all the way across there, then you hit that stop real hard, boom, crush it, back it up real smooth, relax. That's a winning pattern for me, all right? So again, separation for this pattern is going to happen right here. The people whose horses and riders are team enough to go from 4 to 10, all right? That's a transition, not a gradual build, all right? And a lot of people are going to gradually build across that line. Yep, agreed. Okay, so that's the secret there.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
That'd be a fun pattern.
Again, something that seems simple, but I know I'm going to see it a lot, and easy patterns, there are lots of places to differentiate yourself, right? You can ride this more aggressively. Yep. Okay. Very good.
Is that so technical so to kind of play it safe?
Right. So we are in the open horsemanship.
Oh, is the open?
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Begin at A before A to walk. So again, starting before A, you're going to jog from A to B. So again, I don't want to see an extended walk to a jog, right? At B, extend the jog. Again, I don't want to see build to an extended trot. I want to see you extended trotting at B, be able to pop right into that because you're turning here, right? You don't have time to build before you turn, right? If you're still trying to build your pace around here, it's not going to be pretty, right? So make sure that you're out here. Now, again, same thing. However many strides you decide to go out there, right? It looks like the top of the circle is about halfway or a little past. So that means you start turning at the halfway mark. All right. So what I would do for my exhibitors, if I was my client practicing this pattern, I'd put another cone right there. Yep. Just a cone that we're going to practice with that's going to say, where do we start our turn?
Yep, where's our turn?
So at that cone, we start turning. That's going to give me room to go 1, 2 out, which will give me 1, 2 in, 1 out, 1 in, middle, 1 out, right? And then I come into this straight, right? The key to coming into this cone straight is going to be how well do you come out of this right here, right? So coming into right here is going to be how well do you make this straight,
Right.
all right? Because you got to give your horse time to straighten back out. If you cut this down,
You're gonna
here's
be
my
kinda,
cone.
like, sitting like that.
There's no way to get straight,
Right.
right? So if you don't give yourself time, that's why we talk about making good circles involves straight lines, right? Straight through there to give yourself time to hook around and get straight to B, right? Because I want you nose on at B,
Yep.
okay? If you're at B, B is here, and your horse is crooked to it, that's not what I want to see.
No, because then your line to C's not gonna look pretty good either.
Bingo, bingo. So then you're gonna back crooked, and your line to C's gonna be crooked.
Yep.
All right. So I would love to see everybody be able to come in roughly the same line as you were right here. So one easy strategy for that would be give yourself room right here on this line to stop here, do your pivot, back on that line, and go back off.
Right.
So it's just one clean, smooth line all the way across there.
Yep.
That's what I'd love to see. Again, it's not drawn that way because you wouldn't be able to see it if it was.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So you could start a little bit off A, give yourself some room this way, off this, to be able to hit that pretty tight.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Back one horse length, jog to C. So from a 90 to a back, and then boom up to a jog.
Yep.
That's what I'd love to see. Right. Make your narration, right, your illustration as crisply and as cleanly to what's written as possible. All right. So it's not back and then I want to see a rider that can pop right up into a jog. I don't want to see a rider like dribbles into a jog. Right. So the winning horse for me, again, like everything else, is going to be crisp, tight transitions. And that's why we work so much on transitions at home. Right. So we teach our horses foundations for every class. It's not Western pleasure. It's not hunter or saddle. It's not anything like that. We work on transitions. That transition needs to happen where I ask for it. Right. So if you think of Western pleasure as how pretty is your transition, right? Do you have a pretty lope coming out of it? Horsemanship then is adding another degree of difficulty, and it's where you do your transition.
Right.
Not only does it have to be pretty and functional, but now it has to be when and where I ask for it. Right? That's why when a pleasure class, you see them call for a lope and everybody sets up and then lopes. It's a long pause between. It's setting your horse up to make a pretty transition. Not like they call for a lope, I'm loping right now. Right? Take as long as you need to make it a pretty transition, because if it's not a pretty transition, you're not gonna have a pretty lope afterwards. Right? I don't want to put that kind of pressure on my horse to suffer through a bad transition and then try to recover into a good lope. Right? It's always much easier if you start with a good transition, start with a good lope, maintain a good lope, than it is to recover into a good lope. That usually doesn't happen.
No.
Bad transitions lead to bad lopes. So.
It's very true.
Yep.
Very, very true.
Turn the forehand to the right, left leg moving haunches to the right, or right leg moving haunches to the left. So I turn on the forehand. Always think about where your head's going.
To the right?
So to the right means go this way, so your hip's actually going left. So it's going to be right leg moving haunches left. Forehand towards. So it's always which way, like forehand to the right is going to be head going to the right. So turn the forehand means
that makes sense, yeah.
turn your horse's head that way.
Yep.
So
That makes
right
sense.
forehand
So you're
turn,
supposed to-
left forehand turn. Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's that one. So again, keys this one. Make sure you go straight here. Give yourself a marker there. Right. So I want a landmark. You could probably put a cone out here to make sure that you have the same amount of distance here. Right. That ends up being a circle. But there'll probably be a cone right there when I practice as a home with my people. Okay. So that'll give me an idea of where I want to be, because that cone is going to determine where I am over here too. Right. That'll be the top of my circle. So right here and right here, those are my enter and exit lines. Right. Wherever you start turning here is where you need to think about turning over here.
Right.
I want those to be even. Don't do this, because you won't be able to come on to B
Good
cleanly.
morning.
Good morning, Lane. Yeah,
Perfect.
good. Oops, messed up.
Oopsie.
Where were we? Open, in-hand trail, range riding.
Yay! I'm so excited. Are you guys doing ranch riding for the Show Your Heart Out show? If you guys are watching.
Wow, ranch riding. So ranch riding, a fairly complicated pattern, right? Like there's not an easy one. This is harder than loping horsemanship to me.
Yeah.
Much harder. So you're gonna start here. You're
It's
gonna
kind
walk.
of like a mixture of like horsemanship and like reining.
Yes. Bingo. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick up your trot here,
Oh
trot
my
down
gosh,
this
you're
line.
right. I would like to. I know. I wish
Perfect.
you weren't judging it. I would do it.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get into the virtual horse show deal.
I'm about to. It'd be fun.
All right. You're gonna pick up your extended trot right here, right? Extended trot down this back side. Pick up your left lead lope down this line. Stop. One and a half,
back,
right? Yep, roll back. Extended lope.
And extended lope, like top rope, right into extended lope.
Bingo, I want to see extended lope. Again, not build into extended lope,
Okay.
right? I want to see someone that can roll back and extended lope out. So this is, like, honestly, I feel like this is probably the class for us.
Yeah.
Because we do so much, like this is being a horseman, right? This is basic horse skills that every horse should have. Most horses are gonna stop cricket at B. You're talking about, Bruce, you're talking about the other pattern? Watch the video back because I talked about that. So most horses are gonna stop cricket at B because you weren't straight coming into it.
Yeah.
So if you try to go head on to something and you stop and you're gonna be crooked, right? So there's B. We stop like this is because we came into it crooked.
Right.
So give yourself time off that circle to come in and get straight for at least as many strides as you went straight coming off the other cone.
Do you ever have any horse that just stopped cricket in general?
If my horse stops crooked, I have a problem where he doesn't stay balanced between my feet and my hands. So if my horse stops crooked and he kicks his hip out to the right, I'm gonna back and turn right.
That always happens to me in showmanship.
So I would tell people, if your horse stops crooked and he kicks his hip out, remember he's taking a step with his right leg, right? So what I would do is I would back him up and turn to the right, because when we ask our horse to turn, we ask that leg to step back. So I'm gonna try to get control of this leg that's getting out of control, it's stepping over here, right? So I'm gonna back to the right and step that horse over.
You just
Don't
do like your hip round thing you do?
That's us. Don't push your hip around.
Okay.
If your hip slides out right,
Good job, man.
don't push your hip around, because you are just debating with him about where he should keep his hip.
Okay.
So I would more train that leg not to step forward,
Okay.
not debate with him. Don't do that, right? Remember, we don't ride that way. We don't ride, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that.
That's how my horse always did that.
Yep. We want to ride and say, this is why you don't do that,
Right, okay.
right? Because you might have to turn right, so that leg can't be sitting out here in no man's land, because what if we had to roll back to the right? You're like, you have position.
Opposition, yep.
Right.
Agree.
So if your horse stops crooked and kicks his hip out, I'm going to turn towards that right there.
Okay.
Which is exactly why in my showmanship, when my horse kicks his hip out that way, you see me go over, right, across him. I'm pulling him across and push his hip around.
Right. Yep.
Right? Get those shoulders moving across, get everything lined back up over there.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, yeah. If your horse pops his head up and stops, he's not lifting his back. Right? Anytime you get this, you have hollowing out underneath of you.
Yep.
Right? So everything out behind us is going to be doing this. Okay, so you got to teach your horse how to lift his back to stop.
Right.
Right? And that's why we don't spur stop.
Yes.
Because when you spur stop your horse, you can come here and he can just put the spurs on, he can lock his shoulders.
That's usually when they come up.
Yep. Yep. So we want our horses to tuck their back ends. Roll up to your stop. Right? And that roll this way, so you have to think about, like, what is your horse doing? So if this is my horse's loin and my back, right, and then my fingers are my head and neck, if I stop hollow, right there, we stop, head goes up, right, shoulders, front feet lock in the dirt, we go like that.
Yeah.
We want our horses to do this. Lift your loin, round your back to stop. And you see how that's going to tuck my head and neck under anyway? So from this position, my horse is able to do whatever. And that's going to make this pattern really pretty.
Right.
So if my horse can roll to a stop after this left lead lope, he's ready to roll back and lope off.
Right.
Right? And he's already rolled up, he's already gathered up, he can lope off and go right to that extended lope.
Right.
If my horse stops like this, he's not ready to do anything. All right? So he's going to be hollowed out, he's going to be in bad position to do anything else.
I don't think that mare spur stops.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'll do it. That'll do it. So usually when I see spur stop, what happens is people are bringing their horse's front feet back to them when you go to your spurs. When we go to our spurs, our horse's hind feet come up.
Right.
The hind end comes up. They use their loin.
And they
So when we go to our spur stop is, we don't need a spur stop, right? What I need is the ability to squeeze my feet and have my hinds come forward, right? Which will make my horse more round.
Okay.
So a good stop will look like this, where my front feet stop, my hinds come up to them. What your horse is doing is he's stopping like this. He's stopping his hinds. He's then bringing his shoulders back.
Right.
Right? So spur stops hurt you in that sense. You got to have lift out of your feet. Lift out of your feet will roll your horse down into the bridle through every stop.
Right. Yep.
Yep. So really fun pattern. I expect to see open, free, clean riding. I want to see a happy horse. I want to see a horse that looks through the bridle. Want to see a responsive horse. So we want to see an extended lope right away.
Yep.
Right? And then I want to see a collection right here. Obviously, the less aid you have to collect back up into that, I want to see a horse, again, that rolls up into it. So when we talk about collection here, This is not fast to slow.
Right.
All right. This is extend to round.
Right.
All right. So the winner of this class to me is going to be one that can really throw his legs out down this line, come around the corner, get straight first. Get straight first. Don't try to do this on the curve because that's too much.
Yeah.
So make sure you're at least one stride, at least pointed where you want to go, and then round him into that.
Right.
All right. Because if you are pointed off here, then you're trying to make a new line in your lope at the same time you're trying to collect him. That's going to be hard.
Right. Yep, for sure.
Right? So make sure you get around the corner, get on your line, and then collect up and round up. And it should look like that.
Yep.
And then I want to see, the more dramatic you can make this, that horse really like, boom, he's in a different gear now. The sharper you make that, the prettier it's going to be for me. That's what I want to see. So this is right lead coming around, change leads right here, come around, break to a walk over the logs, trot, extended trot around again, stop and back.
Yep.
Okay.
I think the hardest part is the roll back and then going from extended to slow and then the lead change.
Make sure these lines are straight, guys.
Yep.
Right? Again, use that same strategy where you come through here, straight, come through here, straight.
Yep.
I want this point right here, all these points to be the same spot. So this pattern has a lot of transitions that happen right there and a lot of transitions that happen right there. Oops.
Okay.
Right there.
Yep.
All right. So again, no cones here. No cones. This is up to you, right? So you as the illustrator of this class, this children's book, where here's the words, right? Here are what you're being narrating, right? I want you to show off your horse, show off your riding ability,
Okay.
all right? Show off how big and free and collected you can be, right? So this, if we're talking, like this is the free section, right? This is the show off your horse section, then this is the technical. So the pattern changes gears right through here. And now we're in tight technical mode.
Right. And for rich riding, you can be tighter on the reins, right? Or is
I
it
mean,
not
obviously
quite-
I want light contact.
Yeah, but like
I don't want the reins
doesn't
flopping
need,
around.
Doesn't need like you're not on a drape for this, right? Like
No.
horse riding.
Nope. Like reining. It's not
Yeah,
like
so you're a
reining.
little tighter.
Yep.
Kind
Yep.
of like
Contact.
horsemanship, right?
Yes. Like contact.
Okay.
Yep. Light contact. So technical part of the pattern happens in the middle, right? This area is technical. This is how broke is your horse, right? And then the other half, the first half is let's evaluate how pretty the picture it is.
Okay.
All right. So evaluating your horse, evaluating your riding, just overall general impressions through there, and then we're gonna heat things up. And now show me what good a team you guys are.
Yeah.
Show me how accurate you can be to things.
Really smaller than that.
Yeah. So you're gonna have a harder time making this really pretty. For a smaller arena, I mean 80 by 100 is not that small, but coming through and using all of your arena for this pattern.
Yeah.
Use all your arena. Stay off the walls a little bit, maybe 5 feet off the walls. That'll give you a 70 foot or 60 foot pattern across here.
Yep.
So that should give you enough room,
Yep.
right? Just remember, like with a 60 foot pattern, you are not going to have much time. This is going to happen really quickly, this section, right? So from your change leads, come straight out of it. Use your arena and come around here, because I know a lot of people are going to come through and it's going to look like
And
this.
look like that, and then be like,
Yeah. And you start doing that, and you come through and you're doing this pattern gets ugly quick.
Yeah.
All right. So I could evaluate this. How long do you stay straight through here? Right? Do we have good, clean
What probably does that?
lines? Because I hold the shift button down the whole time.
Oh.
So do we have good, clean, definitive lines? There we go.
There you go.
I got to laugh the button. Right? Do we have good, clean, definitive lines
Right.
through there?
Yep.
So I want all of those lines to be as straight as possible.
Yep. I agree.
So we could say, how long did you spend going straight? Right? Because if you think about, like, this is a big turn, this is a big turn, this is a tight 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 turn. You have to have a horse that guides really well. But does he not guide really well? Right? Can you go from guide to neutral and him just stay right there?
Right.
Because if your horse is thinking about not going all the way to the walls, you're going to have a horse that dips out before you get to the wall. We have a lot of horses like that at home.
Yeah.
The Dubs horse is terrible to ride inside. Because the second he gets like 20 feet away from the wall, he's thinking about cutting
So
down.
I gotta turn,
You got to duck.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a problem of riding indoors. Make sure your horse can go all the way to the wall.
Yep. For
So
sure.
you can use the whole arena. Because I'm going to know. I'm going to know when that horse turns and you don't.
I'm not sure it's been asked, but most necessarily kind of.
So I would say the biggest thing for a nervous horse at the start of a pattern is make sure you're not nervous, right? because I see a lot of people get to the cone and they're super nervous and they're picking and they're doing lots of stuff with their feet. So I just want to make sure that when you get to the start of the pattern, you have a button at home. That's the reset button, right? That's the get square button. Focus up. And for us, that's squeezing both feet. So I might lift my hand, squeeze both feet, and that horse needs to go from outer space to right here. Focus up, all right? And then we start the pattern from there. If your horse gets really nervous all the time, if he gets nervous all the time, then you've got to evaluate, maybe I'm putting too much pressure on him in the patterns, right? Maybe I'm doing too much in a pattern and I need to slow things down a little bit. So if my horse gets nervous and worked up, I'm never gonna, and I usually see that in horses that practice a lot of patterns, okay? Don't practice patterns, don't practice this. Don't practice this whole thing. If you're not sure where to go, lay it out, use cones, right? Set yourself up some cones right here.
I mean, you can like practice the elements, but I want to like practice the actual pattern.
Bingo,
you know?
bingo. Set yourself up cones right here, and right here. So that you have some landmarks, all right? So we can set up 3 cones on this side, 3 cones on this side, so we have some landmarks to work off of. Make sure you stay on the outside of these cones when you do things. Outside of this cone, outside of this cone, outside of this cone, outside of this cone, and then head on to this cone.
Yeah, because I think the big thing is as long as your horse can do the elements, then you can put the pattern together. Like your horse doesn't need to know the pattern.
I want my horse to listen to me.
Yeah, and like the horse is kind of going there like, what am I doing? And they're like, whoa.
Yep, and then he's lost, so he just listens to you.
He's just like, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing.
If you practice the pattern with your horse and you're not a clear leader in his mind, and he's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I've done this a million times. I know exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
So be very cautious about how much you practice the actual pattern with your horse.
Yeah.
You don't need to practice the actual pattern. What you need to do is you need to be able to go from extended lope to collected lope after a circle. So extended lope, lope a straight line, turn, collect up.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Okay, break to a walk. Reach down petting. Then you need to be able to pick up a lope, right lead lope to left change.
Yeah.
Right lead to left change.
And then
stay
break
straight
down
through.
from a lope to a walk over poles. So,
Yep. And then just walk over poles. Like I don't even need to, I know my horse will come down to a walk, so I can just walk over some poles, make sure he walks over the poles. The rest of the pattern is pretty straightforward. The roll back to right lead, that's something I'll practice.
Yep.
Roll back to extended lope, I'll practice that.
Yep.
But I'm not going to practice the pattern because that's going to make your horse nervous.
Right. Yep, for sure. I agree.
What are my thoughts on transitioning a Western pleasure horse and a ranch riding horse? Pleasure horse on a lower head step. Is it discounted because it's a Western pleasure horse? I wouldn't say so. This class is fairly new. And I think that you're going to get a disconnect. So you're going to have the true ranch people, right? That have the longer manes and like the reining style ranch riding. And then you're going to have like the more show style ranch riding, which is going to look more like horsemanship than reining.
I say because we were talking about like if Molly's not pregnant, we were talking about bringing her back out and maybe riding her and stuff. I was like, it'd be really fun to do like the ranch riding with her.
Yep.
It's so hard to like, but she has a long mane right now and everything, but she's more of a pleasure style. So it's hard to like compare like the ranch horses to like the pleasure horses. I think that's where you show too, you know?
So in this class, because it's fairly new and you have a very clear disconnect, you have the freer horsemanship horse and you have the reining horse. Like that, there's the horsemanship horse that thinks that this class is a little bit more free than horsemanship.
Yep.
This is like a world show horsemanship pattern where you got the whole arena to work in and you can just like do some big, fun, fast things.
Yep.
And then you have the reining style horse that truly probably rides the ranch.
Yep.
Right? There's that style. You have two very different styles.
Yeah, because like their lope is going to be so different. Like the pleasure lope is going to be like, you know, like a lot of cadence, and then the reining is going to be like a totally different lope.
Yep.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know how they're going to do that.
So I'm definitely going to be able to tell the difference between the two, right? I'm definitely going to know the difference between the two, but is it something that I'm like, oh, well, that's a reining horse, and I don't want to see that in this class, or that's a horsemanship horse, and I don't want to see that in that class? Absolutely not. I can certainly tell the difference, and I'll just make a note of it. Okay, this is a horsemanship style horse. That's what style of pattern we're going to have here, right? And that's just the way it is. It's just the way it goes for this class. Okay, and this pattern is all ranch riding, I believe. We changed it. Or maybe this is all novice, and the other one's all. Yeah, so the other one's all.
Open children and seniors?
Yep. So this is all novice, and then this is all open.
Okay.
Yep. So a little bit more technical pattern, right? Nowhere near as big open free areas as the other one. So you're gonna start here, trot around, extend the trot along the side of the arena. So you're gonna pick up your extended trot, probably in the middle right here.
Yep.
Start extending there, come around, side pass, turn both ways.
That's so crazy.
Yep. Make sure you turn 360 both ways. Walk out, whoops, too far.
Is there a difference in body style? there's a difference in body
Yeah,
style.
there definitely is a difference in body style.
For sure. Yep.
And I'm not gonna penalize you either way because I'll make a note of, well, this is a different style of horse, so it's gonna be a different style of pattern. One is not better than the other, but if anything, there could be an argument that, well, the true ranch horses, if reining's not offered, this is their only class.
Yeah.
But that being said, I've been to lots of horse shows where someone takes their reining horse and does horsemanship with it, and it's amazing. And if you guys missed that, so here's what I'm talking about, different styles. This is my buddy Trevor Dare from Findlay, Ohio. Oops. Who I believe did really well in Charlie's virtual show. This is a reining horse doing horsemanship, and it's gorgeous, right?
I didn't see that.
Yep. So he entered in the horsemanship, and he did really well. Maybe I can find it on his page. Maybe not.
You might go to his videos.
March 30.
I don't know when it was. This pattern's so fun. I think called the 2-drop pattern. It goes super fast too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot happened in this one. Very tight technical pattern. A lot going on.
Can you find it?
Can't find it. Yeah, that's bad. Oh shoot! If you guys missed it, but he did really well.
I'll look for it. What is he doing?
You're gonna have to find it in the.
I'll find it.
Trevor his horse show.
I'll find it.
But Trevor Dare's a reining trainer, super talented young guy, and he crushed the horsemanship pattern because it was a beautiful pattern, right? Different style, but still placed really well over a lot of horsemanship horses because he rode it with class, he rode it with speed, he rode it with aggression, picked up a lot of points for a degree of difficulty, and his horses broke. All right, so we're not saying that this class is going to be based on having a broke horse, but certainly the better team, the better pair you guys are, the better you'll do.
Right, for sure.
So yeah, walking around, extended trot through here, stop side pass, 360, 360. Exactly, Becky. So not just one style, there's a lot more entries, a lot more people enjoying a ranch. And that's where you see, like, because this class it doesn't have the specialization that like Western Pleasure has, it's open to a lot more people. And Western Pleasure just nowadays has gotten so specialized. And they talked about it on the podcast, the Keep It Real podcast, if you guys haven't seen that. Katie Jo brought up a great point when she said that you, in the pleasure nowadays, you have a horse that's taking a step that doesn't translate to any other class. That class has gotten so specialized that a pleasure horse doesn't translate anymore into a Western rider horsemanship style of horse. And that's a problem, right?
Right.
A Western pleasure horse should not be taking a different step than a horse, right? I don't want to see that class that specialized. And that's why we don't train that way. Right? We train our horses to have lift, we train them to have balance, so that we can push them out into any class we want.
Was it in the virtual horse show?
It was in the virtual horse show, that's where you have to go. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go.
I don't know if you'll find it from there. To me, as long as the horse does the class, executing the pattern with the speed required in that class, ranch riding does not want a slower pleasure lope. Yes, exactly. This class should be, it's kind of the halfway point between reining and horsemanship for me.
Yeah.
Yep, reining and horsemanship. Like I'm not looking to be bored, right? Don't go out there and take 6 minutes to do this pattern. Okay? Ride your horse. This is a working class, so you got to be at a working pace for me. This is not a pretty class. This is a working class. So I want to see you out there doing something that could put in some work. Right? If you take 12 hours to bring in the cows, that's not going to work for me.
Right.
You know, like we got a storm coming. We got to get the cattle built up. We got to go now. Like it's time to get after it and let's get some work done, you know? So that's how I feel about the ranch riding. A trained horse should work at the speed required for the class. Yeah. And that's true of a pleasure class too, right? Like we show at the speed that the class is at so you don't stand out. You don't want to be the fastest one in the class. You don't want to be the slowest one in the class. You want to be at your horse's pace that they're comfortable.
Well, it's just like when you're driving on the highway. Like you don't want to be the one fast car. You don't want to be the one slow car. You just kind of want to roll with everything.
If you're the one fast car, you got to be turning and getting around cars all the time. If you're the one slow car, you got people cutting you off and all that stuff.
Honking their horns at you.
Be the speed that's on the highway, right?
Yep.
Keep up with the pace of the class. So, same deal for this.
How long ago was that, do you know?
It was a while ago.
Okay.
It was one of the first ones they judged.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, one of the first ones. So you got to be wow. Like what date are you on? He gets so many entries. You're only on yesterday.
Okay,
That's why I
we'll
said
find
you're
that
probably not
later.
going to find out. Doesn't need rope, or I haven't talked to her in a long time. So turning, where are we at? We're walk and then trot.
Yep.
Left lead, extend the lope around right here. So you pick up your extended lope through here. Extend the lope to collection to, extended lope to lead change to collection, right? So extended lope to lead change to collection, right? So that's a trickier pattern. A lot happening right there.
It's hard to go from extended to a collected into
Yep.
the lead change.
To fly through your lead change and then collect up and not have much
So
room
do you
to do
collect
it.
up before your lead change?
I'm gonna say no, right? Extend the
It
lope,
says-
change leads, and then collect.
Yep.
So obviously, if you're doing a simple change, you're gonna have to collect up because you're breaking down. But
A lot of people should be able to get finally change if they're extended.
yeah, it's an easier lead change, right?
Yeah. Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're extending, changing leads, staying extended, and then collecting up.
Even with a long meal.
It's true. It's true, Lane. So yeah, you're gonna collect up after your lead change. So this opens the door for a lot of out of control lead changes.
Yeah.
Right? So it's gonna be hard for you to come out of your turn, get straight enough to change leads, stay straight to collect, and then turn again.
Right.
Because you're breaking to a trot right here.
Right after that, yeah.
Right? Breaking to extended trot. So again, this section of the pattern has a lot going on, a little bit of time.
A little bit of time.
Right? So very technical section right here to be able to change leads and collect up right away.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
For sure. That's a fun one. I'm excited
It's a fun
to see
one,
these.
yeah. So for this pattern, whoops, too far. Want to make sure you guys have good, clean, definitive middle section.
Yep.
Right? Make sure that everything happens in the middle right here. This is where your lead change happens. This is where you're going to stop and do your pivots. This is where you're going to stop to do your side pass. If you could side pass down that middle line, awesome.
Yep.
Right? Even if that's at your horse's nose right there, nose on the middle line, then you side pass over, do your turns, and then start your next section. But almost everything happens in relation to this line.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
So really make sure you know where the midline is for this pattern. Okay, so you're gonna start right there. If you're going to do a one-step trot simple, is that one step? Yes, absolutely,
Yep.
100%. And in a pattern like this, if you're 3 or more steps, you're lost.
Yeah, and then you can't.
You don't have enough
turn
time, right?
around.
You don't have enough time to show off a lope, a speed lope to a collected lope, right? And enough time to turn.
Yep.
So the one-step drop change, right, is going to be highly advantageous to just do the rest of the pattern, right? Remember we talked about how doing a pattern is like a snowball rolling down a hill. And if you take a long time to get this done, now you have no time to show this off. Now you have no time to show this off before you're turning. And then you're handling your horse too much. Things are happening too fast. So that will get very out of control very quickly, right? Because you're going to be like trying to get the lead change still, and then you're here, you're going to try to turn the corner, and you just be all over the place.
Yeah, it'll be best.
Right? So the more accurate you can make that happen right there, which is what patterns are, right? Be broke, make things happen where I asked them to, right? So that I asked them to happen in the middle, right here is where I asked things to happen, right? So if you're doing that up here, you are not doing the pattern as it's written, right? And that's, again, you're not illustrating that pattern the way I want you to, right? The way I want you to illustrate is on this midline, change leads, not change leads up here and take up your lope and then build back up to speed and then collect back up and then crash a corner and then break to a trot halfway through your corner and then, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be too jagged and too out of control. So having a broke horse helps you be accurate, it helps you stay in control. That's the biggest thing. So accuracy first, speed second. So make sure you can get that accurate line, make things happen where I asked them to, and then add degree of difficulty. So if you have to slow this down to make this pattern happen, because this is a much harder pattern to me than the other one.
Yeah, it is.
Then you're gonna have to slow down.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Then maybe you can't really go like 30-mile-an-hour lope through here, right? Maybe that's not gonna be a 20-mile-an-hour lope. Maybe that's gonna be, as long as there's some difference. So if you can't do a big, powerful lope into a lead change because you don't have that much control or handle on your horse, then it's okay to make this 15 miles an hour and this 6 miles an hour.
6 miles an hour.
You can slow the regular lope way down to give yourself more definition too, right? Obviously, a great horse is going to be able to come through, a great horse and rider team will be able to come through here at 10 miles an hour and then come through here at 20 miles an hour and then go right back to that 10 mile an hour mark right up here. Right through there. So that's going to be the big differentiator. If you can't do that, keep this a little bit tighter than you normally would. Slow this down a little bit more than you normally would so you can show a definition right here. Don't come through here at 8 miles an hour and here at 9 miles an hour.
Right.
That doesn't work. It's not a big enough definition,
No.
right? Because then I won't be able to tell what you did here.
Right.
It's got to be a big enough gap that there's a difference. If you're coming through at 8 and then it's 9, it's hard to tell. Did that horse just slow down? Did it stumble? Did it bobble? Or were you directing that?
Yeah, make like a huge difference.
Make it a difference. Yep, absolutely. Good.
Do you want to do the patterns and then have people set in their videos on our new platform? We can go over that once the show's done.
What do you mean do my patterns?
Like, you know how you have that new
Yeah.
thing?
Yep. Yep.
I think that'd be a really good idea.
We're done with patterns.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right on time, 11:59.
Jeez.
We're on time for once.
That's crazy.
We're on time. That's awesome. Shoot, did we go for walk? No, we did not go. Wait, which walk jog? The horsemanship. Yes, I believe we did.
Yes, we did. Yep.
So Lene, you'll be able to see this replay.
Yep. In just a little bit.
Yep, we went over all of the walk, trot, horsemanship stuff.
Yep.
So you are good to go. Yeah, it's early over there.
Where?
She's in California.
California. Oh yeah,
Yep.
super early.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So hopefully, or I might come today. So hopefully we can be live tonight with
Yes.
everyone, and we can go over the showmanship that we were going to do yesterday, right?
Yes.
And then we can do that.
Yes.
And then we can go over some pattern stuff too, like the patterns we went today. Maybe we can show people how to go from like an extended lope to a slower lope.
Yep.
Things like that to work on.
Yep.
And then once the show's over, then we can get into more of like the training aspect again.
Yes. Yep.
Which I think would be a really good idea.
Yep. So then, last couple things. We are 14 people away from buying you guys a set of spurs, custom silver spurs from Harris. We're gonna put probably the Rose's logo on one side, maybe
Well,
Team LSH
which
something.
one?
We can talk to you guys about
Yeah,
what you
we'll
want to
have
get.
let you guys design it.
You guys can have free reign as far as that goes. You can put it on the inside, you can put it wherever you want. We're gonna buy you guys a pair of these for one lucky winner, one teammate
Thank you guys.
on our Patreon site. We're gonna buy you guys a set of custom engraved silver spurs,
And you guys, you just do like your initial or anything
whatever
like
shank
that.
design you
Or
want,
if
whatever
mom look like this.
whatever rowel you want. You have this to choose from. We'll come through. We're gonna show up for you guys, put this together, and it'll be what, a $500 to $700 value.
Yep.
So
Which
for our
should be so much
Patreon
fun.
members, that giveaway will be once we reach 150 members on Patreon. So if you guys spread the word, if you share this, we get this done faster. If not, we'll grow it slowly.
We'll go slowly.
But we will eventually get there. I'm
Yes, we
positive.
will. We're only 14 people away, so we're like super
14 people
close.
away. Yes. So yeah, Patreon members, teammates, looking for you guys. So that's the $10 tier and up.
Yep.
If you guys are teammates, you will be eligible for this. And that'll be a lot of fun. We'll be very excited about that.
I'm super excited.
Also, another change for everybody just jumping in the video.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
We have this now. So we want things to be easier. We want to get to your videos because we lose them so much because they go all over the place.
There's so many videos that we have lost because they're just gone.
Too many
There's
messages. Too many messages.
I'm not able to get them.
Perfect, Donna. Awesome. Is it Donna or Shannon? I don't know which. Yeah, if you can't get it figured out, let me know and we'll try to
Yeah,
help
and
you.
we'll help you.
Yep. So we now have the LSH Live video review form.
I know, Joe. I'm so excited.
Yes, very excited, Joe. We have the video review form, so now you can put in your name, your address, your goals, and put a link to your video. So if you upload it to YouTube, you can put the link here, or you can just add it right here yourself.
Yep.
And we will, and then submit it. It'll go in a spreadsheet for me. Everything will be organized. If you have previously submitted a video,
just resubmit it.
resubmit it. Yeah, I'm gonna put this link in the
It's the giveaway link for certain other pictures.
for teammates. Yep. So 10 and up.
Yep.
So if you guys are teammates, got an easily awesome, very good.
Good.
So yeah, if you're teammates, we're gonna use this. This will go in the training discussion group on Facebook. I'll
Yep.
post this link. And if you guys want your video reviewed, get on here. We'll go over it.
We'll probably go over all starting those videos after this horse show's done. Because we'll probably just try to keep like the horse show.
I would imagine I can do it on the couch tomorrow. We can start tomorrow.
You think so?
Because I'm not gonna have any videos in tomorrow. I gotta start judging Sunday and Monday.
I thought maybe it was Saturday you started judging.
Well, everybody won't have
Only
their videos
Sunday.
in yet.
Oh, okay. Then we can start tomorrow then.
So we can start tomorrow. If you guys have a video of your horse that you sent in or you want just to review, let's put it here, and we can go from there.
Yeah, and then it'll all be organized.
It's super
And
organized,
we
yes.
just check you off as we
That'll
go.
be much easier. We won't lose your videos. We can put check marks by you, and we won't have to like scramble on stream trying to find everybody's videos. I just had one in. Where did it go?
That's just too much.
That's pain.
That is
So we'll
start that tomorrow then.
start that tomorrow.
Yep.
So I will put this link up. Send your videos in. We'll go over this because our governor just extended the lockdown for 15 more days.
Oh my gosh.
So we will be on for at least 30 more days with you guys because we are locked down.
We're going to be on with them no matter what.
We're going to be on a lot.
I swear, this is never going to end, you guys. I'm dying.
So we are now all the way to June 1st. Shut her down.
Shut her down.
So we'll be doing lots of video reviews now that we are not going over patterns for the horse shows. I'll be judging Sunday, Monday, live with you guys. Feel free to jog on.
Come on, jog on, you guys.
Jog right on up, and we will do your video.
You should be live all day.
It is walk trot.
You
So
can just jog right on.
Jog right on. And we'll go over that. But yeah, so this will be up.
How much are we locked down?
We are a month more. We are to the end of May.
I swear, you guys. It's awful.
And how that will translate to our barn is anybody's guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Is anybody's
gonna happen
guess.
there.
We were under the new 5 to 10 p.m. lockdown orders
So stupid.
for the May 15 order. Now we are May 28, so who knows?
Who knows? June 1st, crap. I will be next.
Yeah. Yep, that's the problem. And you guys have all those farmers and meat packing factories out there. That's you guys have been hit hard too.
Yeah, for sure.
Michigan, we don't know.
We don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what to believe or what to look at. I'm like, I don't know. I guess you just live your life.
Yep. Our numbers are changing. I don't know where we're at. Here's Michigan. We're still having a ton of people.
Yeah, days are.
First phase opening up today in Florida. That's awesome. I'm super jealous.
Yeah, I'm really jealous of you. That's so nice.
Super jealous.
I just don't know what we're gonna do. Like, I'm over it now, you know? Like, I've never missed TJ Maxx and Marshall so much.
So glad to be back in New Zealand. Only 3 new cases yesterday. Yeah, I heard that your prime minister came out and said that we crushed it.
Yeah.
Nice job. Nicely done out there. That's amazing.
Why didn't we crush
jealous.
it like that?
Had our government and our leadership come out and said, we don't, here's my personal thoughts on it. I don't talk about this on stream very often.
Oh boy.
My personal thoughts, when you don't know, err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
New virus, we don't know anything about it. Let's put masks and gloves on. Let's shut down big events and let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see. Just wear your mask and gloves everywhere you go. Let's try to get on top of this. Let's try to learn more about it in the meantime. And then work out more specific things.
Yeah.
Instead, we had, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Oh my God, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Panic, kind of. And then wear masks, and then, don't wear masks, and then wear masks, and wear gloves. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
It's so confusing. And then they're like, shut down this, and then this is open. And then I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are shut down doesn't make sense, and things that are open doesn't make sense.
So, for example, this is how your horse feels when you're not a clear leader.
It's true.
Without clear leadership, your horse goes, I don't know, I'm just going to guess at what I have to do next.
What's it we have to do all the time?
Clear and definitive of what you want will make everything so much smoother.
It will make everything so much smoother.
Yes, so be clear and definitive, wear gloves, wear masks, done.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what it is.
It's crazy, you guys.
Yep.
But at least we're all staying safe, right?
I've been busy sewing horse-themed masks. I kind of want one of those.
Oh, I want one of those. Do you sell them?
Yeah, do you sell them? I kind of want one. Great analogy. Yeah, that's exactly how your horse feels when he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's so true.
He's going to start doing things on his own, which is what we've seen, right? No clear leadership from way high up, closing the stable after the horse is bolted. Yeah. No clear leadership from way high up. So then our governors do something very different. And then we as citizens have no clear leadership, so we do whatever we feel like. Yeah, too funny but true. Yeah, exactly.
So true. I'm like, oh my gosh. I told Jeremy he needs to run.
Someday I'm going to run for president.
I told him I'd support him.
We have 1,000 people that watch these videos. Maybe they'll all vote for me.
They might.
Maybe I won't be at 0%. Someday I'll try.
That'd be so much fun. I would just have you make the land horse land.
The horse land? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has to own a horse.
And then everyone can
teach them responsibility.
Yes.
Teach them some leadership, teach them some responsibility. We'll go from there. Awesome. Well, very, very good. That's a good stream. We stayed mostly focused and mostly on task.
We tried. We always watch it back and we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't even focus.
So we're going to eat some lunch and we're going to get ready to go ride.
Go ride? We got till 5.
We got till 5. Eat some lunch.
We're going to paint.
We're going to paint.
He's going to help me paint.
Maybe we'll go for a walk.
No, we're going paint.
It's sunny.
Oh yeah, I forgot about walking.
We forgot about walking. That's how long we've been locked down. We forgot how to walk.
We have this workout board up, and I made like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I was like, let's check off the days we work out. We only have Tuesday checked off.
It's scarce, to say the least. There's a scarce walkout board. Sparse.
It is.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
funny.
so hopefully this helps. If this helped you guys before you do your horse show stuff, if this helped you through your patterns, feel free to share it with your friends. This will be up for as long as we're quarantined, which will be forever, it seems like.
Yeah. Who knows what we're doing with our summer? I've been dying to get some froyo.
Yeah.
Something. But
Yeah.
can't get that. Can't even get a Starbucks coffee.
Nope.
You can't even go pick up some decorations, like summer decorations.
So instead of our spending our money on that, we're going to spend our money on you guys.
Exactly.
So 14 members away. Spread the word. Share the Patreon. Share the videos. Tell people how much you've enjoyed it if you've learned something.
Yes.
And we'll be back probably later tonight.
Yeah.
Microphone comes today, so hopefully we'll be able to get back
If
outside.
not, I'll be so upset.
I'm
They keep telling us it's coming, so
going to drive over to Apple headquarters.
I will too.
Yep. Awesome.
We'll walk our booties right over there.
That's right. So watch the training discussion group on Facebook. I'm going to post the link to the video submission form. If you submitted a video before, feel free to send it back in, and we'll go over it. And that'll be where we find all the videos from here on out.
Yep.
Awesome. Very, very good, guys. Have a great day,
Yeah, have a
evening,
great day.
afternoon, nighttime, Joe, if you're...
Yeah, sweet dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yes, see you.
Take care. Oh, awesome, Sheila. Welcome to the team.
Welcome. I'll message you.